Well, we are here again on a Saturday morning. Oh, I could do with some sleep. But anyway, today we have on our, look, again, I come and say, you're always welcome to come on Discord and chat with us. We've got Oggy from Arizona, we've got Blue from Singapore, and we've got Todd from Adelaide. G'day, guys.
Morning.
Morning. Every time you say that, I always
Evening for me here.
always think about that sketch in Mr. Creosote from Monty Python. Morning.
Morning.
How are you today, Mr. Creosote? Better. Oh, that's good, Mr. Creosote. Yeah, better get a bucket. I'm going to be sick.
One thin mint.
Yeah.
Can't eat another bite.
Anyway, so here we are. How are all the inmates, all the lockdowns, all the prisoners of Mother Australia? So not prisoners of Mother England, now prisoners of Mother Australia. Yeah.
California is just announcing they're lifting all restrictions. California.
It's an absolute joke, isn't it, what's going on in the world? Anyway, so I know you all, everybody's still like that. We had sort of dildo baggings here. Was it 9 o'clock this morning? Was it Warren is the modern day Churchill? He still doesn't clarify what he meant by that. What was so good about Churchill? What was so bad about Churchill?
It was something good.
Well, from what I understand, he was a bit of a narcissist, it was my way or the highway, as far as I know, from what he was written about, across the time of the Second World War. It was basically he was quite adamant about the way things should happen, and a lot of shit happened because of it. But anyway. But I don't know enough about. I wasn't alive there. I don't know Second World War. Don't know the First World War.
But you caused it.
Do you think I caused it? Yeah. Well, yeah. The only thing I remember about the Second World War, or the First World War, is watching things like War of the Worlds. When was that written? 1890s.
Before I was born.
Before I was born, yeah. So, Sean Smith, g'day, Sean. Was it good? DC, big ups, Warren. Chris Brown, g'day. Just told everybody that, come and join us on the Discord if you want, but that's up to you. Who else we got? Mr. Mitch. Yes, the good old Mr. Mitch. He's the moderator of all moderators. So he must moderate on every sort of live streaming Thai channel out there. I see him everywhere. We got Dallo, Todd's here and chatting away. Who else we got? Mark Van Doon. Maybe I've saying that. Mark Van Doom. Did he change his name? I don't know. I don't remember seeing Mark Van Doom before. Maybe he did change it. Love is Love Thailand. Martin, you know how to get on a Discord. Come on a Discord. Stop hiding out in the chat channel. Yes, Mr. Mitch Blues. What are they talking about? I'm too technically challenged. I've had you on here, Mr. Mitch. You managed to get on once or twice. He's just shy about making a mess up because of the fact that he's such a responsible person out there.
If he started chatting, he might miss somebody's comment.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You feel like he's slacking off. He starts talking. Yeah. I'm the modern day Stalin. Yeah, I'm just trying to fit in. Yeah, okay, fair enough. The Thailand Celt. The Thailand Celt. Well, as in, was it? He's from Scotland. Yeah. Good morning from sunny Scotland. Yes. Okay. I can't even remember how. Those 3 years I lived in Scotland. Do you think I could get the Scottish accent right again? It took me 3 years to get the accent when I went over. Living there for 3 years, came back and got such grief from the kids at school because I was still doing school. They actually made me go back to school, and I was getting so much grief from all the kids at school, and it took me about 4 weeks to lose it. 3 years to get the Scottish accent, and 4 weeks to lose it. Because I just peer group pressure, as they say. How things with you, Mr. Mitch? Yes, good, thanks. Okay, you're all chatting amongst yourselves. See, now this is the thing we were talking about last night, and so we're at two minds of the whole thing. I should actually put up a poll, but you know, do you want me to go live when we're gaming, right, on this channel? That's the question that's really sort of out there, because the internet is pretty much a 50-50 split on what works best. Right, and now if you wanted to really focus on a channel specific thing, then you would have a separate channel for it. Whereas if you just like my channel is just a community, right? The extension of YouTube is just, you know, my life sharing with our community we're building, then you wouldn't separate that. You'd just have it as part of, this is who you are. Right, you game, you know, this is it, you game, you go out to markets, you go and do this, you have a live stream Saturday mornings, this is you. You know, why would you want to split yourself between different platforms or different areas? I've been avoiding it because, you know, when we did some live streams a few years ago, when our channel was fairly small, I got a little bit of grief from people, but of course I was a little bit more sensitive to, you know, the tyre kickers back then. But you know, I don't mind you guys jumping on whenever you're at, because like I get all the Americans, you know, like now it's what time's it now in America where you are? You're on the West Coast, so you're
8 o'clock in the evening.
8 o'clock in the evening, so this is not too bad. But the thing is, for East Coast, it's 11 o'clock. It's too late for them. They want to go to bed.
Yeah, F them.
gotta love the patriotism.
East Coast thinks everything revolves around them.
You know, but I also get my English, the English channel followers. You know, they get a bit put out because I do this Saturday morning thing, but they want to join in. But it's middle of the night for them. They feel like they've been forgotten about. You know, whereas if we just ran streams when we game, then, you know, if you're around, just join in. You don't have to watch it. The only thing I'll do is I've got to make up a special little, you know, what do they call it, picture for the thing, so it's easily recognisable. Because right now, when you go to my channel, you can, you know, this is something that I've been doing, is making sure the fact that I don't piss people off. You know, I'm a bit sensitive to pissing people off. You know, so. When you look at the channel, you know, you've got clearly sort of evident which videos are the vlogs, you know, the weekly vlogs. You can see quite easily which ones are the live streams, and again, you know, you go to the whole video sort of array here. You can definitely sort of see what's there. Of course, that's running live now. You know, you get 2 vlogs. What you don't see is the ones that are in the playlist. You know, so. Right now, so this is a thing I've been working on, these new Thailand shorts. They're all there. They're readily available for anybody. They're just not listed, so they're not going public. I'm telling the channel members. I'm sending them, you know, a message out, you know, about what's happening. So the channel members get a little bit of a heads up about what's going on, but the regular public don't see this. And again, Patreon as well. They don't see this stuff either. Patreon members get the stuff as well. But as I said, I'm just trying to sort of make it fair for everybody. One of the things I've always sort of said is I don't want to create the situation where, you know, where I distance people. The channel started from doing daily or weekly vlogs. I always want to keep that as being the open channel for everything we do. There will be a couple of special videos that we do for the Patreons and members when it gets a little bit sensitive topic, and I really want it just be shared between, you know, some of my close friends and the channel supporters. But it's always going to be on edition. I have no intention of ever taking the channel down a privacy sort of, you know, genre. You know, I'm just here, just a guy living in Thailand, enjoying the last remaining years of my life, sharing what I know, sharing what I can do, and just having a bit of a laugh with people. So it really comes down to sort of, you know, what does everybody else think? How do you do this poll thing? So I don't know how this poll thing works. On this channel. Okay, so that's a pretty good poll question, right? So I don't know how that works. Does that work like that? I've never done this before. It's probably going to completely blow it up. Did that come up anywhere? Did that come up on? I can't see where that's just the top chat. Where's the poll?
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
It just popped up on my screen.
Okay, that's right. So it did
Don't
pop
have
up.
gaming content randomly on this channel. Oh yeah, why not?
There we go.
I'm biased though.
Yeah, well, that's the bit. Basically, you'll always be here because you're the one. You're my teammate, you know. We did talk about that. It looks like Todd's going to be sort of putting a Windows emulator on his Mac just so he can play games.
Yes. Yes. All right. I'll click yes as well.
Yeah. So, of course, this thing here is a bit of a nuisance because it's actually popping up over the chat on my Streamlabs, so I have to just close.
Oh, 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I'll have to look up the top there because it's what it is. The poll's actually covering up the last few lines of the chat. So I'm going to look at the chat up here because on the YouTube chat, it puts it at the top of the screen where I can see what's going on, but I can't see. Streamlabs, useless people.
Blacker.
Oh, it's just, like you try to do something and then they just don't follow the program. Anyway.
And it follows it if you pop out the chat too.
Does it? Yeah, okay. Yes, if you're Mr. Mitchell, I hope I'm there when you do make it there. We can share Peter. Do you speak the lingo? But yeah, so we're always gaming. We're always here on the Discord, and this is the thing. It's a community. This is the thing. I'm building a community of people where people can just drop in and sort of ask questions all the time. The Discord channel, it's not like your standard Discord channel. It's actually sort of a community channel. I do pay extra to have it, with extra performance. But that's because I want my channel to be better than everybody else's, of course. But we're always streaming. So what we tend to do is we tend to stream the game content into Discord. But you have to be on Discord to see it. I can just as easily stream the game into the Streamlabs live stream and have everybody join in. But as I said, you don't have to come in. It'll be just like you do now. This is the 2-hour chit chat that everybody has, and 2/3 of the chats amongst yourselves, not so much with me, which I don't care about. It's just being available. People can yes, you can ask questions. If you want to ask questions, I'm here to answer whatever I can. But yeah, so that's the question. Do you want us to see, more, like just randomly whenever we're gaming, we can just go live. It's no skin off my nose. My computer can handle it. We've got, as I was saying before, where is the other thing there? So we've got good speed. There's some speed into the feed. Yes, we'll talk about this before we start the program as well. I was wondering why I was only getting squirrel. I was wondering why I wasn't getting 500 meg up. I was only getting 300 meg up, for the last couple of months, and I thought it's probably just a technical glitch, and like 300 meg, 500 meg up, Anyway, I went to pay the bill because, like last month when I went to pay the bill, they said no, you don't need to pay. You paid 3 months in advance, so they didn't want money from me last month. So this month was, and we've been here for that 2 months of that 3 months in advance we paid. So basically you're always paying a month in advance. anyway, I go to pay the bill, and she says, no, it's only 692 baht or something like that. And I'm going, that's wrong. It should be 749 baht, which was what I was paying before. And they said, no, this is the account, this is the bill you're on, this is what it costs. And I'm going, which plan am I on? And she tells me, oh, you're only on the 1 gig down, 100 meg up plan, which now fits in, because I was wondering why we only paid 1,800 baht, or I think, when we actually put the thing on, because there was a discount involved as well, because we're paying 3 months in advance and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, turns out that when we ordered it, I wasn't paying attention because Chanya did the ordering. She only ordered the 1 gig down, 100 up. So there you go. Problem solved. They turned it up. They turned the full speed up on Thursday. And I said, well, do I pay the difference now? They said, no, leave it alone. Don't pay till next month. Okay, never understand this stuff. But anyway, that's Thailand for you. Don't worry about paying your bill, which is due now. We'll just charge you, for this month's edition and next month. There you go. This is enough to do your head in. Anyway, Wazza. Jane wants the details of the guys who built the carport. Okay, let's see if I can find that for you. I have to go to my Facebook because somebody else asked that question. And I did answer it on Messenger for somebody. Who was it asked me? Was it Stuart? How far back is it? Stuart wasn't Abe, wasn't Andrew. Okay, where are we? Right. Control C, copy. Right, and then go to the chat. Sorry for the clumsiness of this, but yeah, there we go. So that's the Facebook page for the people who did the carport. They did a pretty good job. I think they, quite diligent. They came and fixed. There was a bit of a leak when we had that big downpour last week. We did notice a leak, from where they missed a bit of the what they call the silicon edging, and they came back free of charge and sort of lifted part of the roof and part of the flashing, and then put the silicon down because it is a fairly low angle. And that was a pretty big downpour. I think we had about an inch of rain in about 30 minutes, and it basically backflowed into the top edge of into the carport where the gap was. But yeah, so anyway, moving right along. Hiccup. What I probably need to do is I probably need to pop that out so I can see it better.
Look at it.
Yeah, because I have to put it down here today because that pole, we'll just keep that pole running so we don't lose track of it. Oh, and that didn't help. I really need to get my fourth monitor set up as well, that's another thing. Anyway, always something to fix in a new build. Yeah, well that's it, it's one of those sort of things I can, I'm still quite amazed with how things have gone in the last, in this last month and a half, 2 months after moving in. The other thing we're talking about before we started, electricity bill came. So, go full screen again. So there is the electricity bill, and it's probably not going to come through because of the. Let me turn that shit off. Go to original. Okay, so, original, I said, original. There we go. Yes, I don't know if you can see it, it's probably not a high enough resolution, but I get 2,047, I think it was, 2,027 baht for this month's electricity bill. So this is basically in the house for the full month, doing the normal stuff for the whole month. We've got 5 air conditioners in the house, not just the 2 from the last place, right? And we've got 3 sewing machines, but we don't have the 4 or 5 girls working the sweatshop downstairs, which is what we had in the old house. It's only Mother pretty much doing her sewing now, and she has a friend come around probably once a week, or whatever. It's probably, I don't know, I've really not worked out when or where she comes around, but this is Mother's little sort of pocket money job. This is what she does. This is her business. So 3 sewing machines with just her working. That's how much power those sewing machines worked into use. So they were, 6 machines going for 12 hours a day was using at least, you might say 3,500 baht a month in electricity costs, which was, I didn't mind paying it. Now we're actually seeing more realistic, and of course we've got the right size air conditioners now. This one here is running. It's a 9,000 BTU in my computer room, and it's a small room. So, and I run it at 25 degrees Celsius. So that one's running from 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the morning. Then the one in our bedroom, which is the other one that runs pretty much the most of the time when we're sleeping, that's on from maybe 11 o'clock at night through till 9 o'clock in the morning. So in my book that seems fairly good, but again that's only 12,000. That's a 12,000 BTU. So it makes a big difference if you size the air conditioners properly for the rooms, which is what we'd never had before in the other place. So an electricity bill as much as our paper delivery. Is that right, Andy? Oh my God. I noticed you sent me a message on Facebook. Is there anything we wanted to look at there? Okay. Can you guarantee Australians that all... What? Sorry, it's going too fast for me to read. That's a TikTok thing. I'll look at that later. Cheap? Well, that's it. It's I don't pay for the gas. We've got bottled gas for the cooking downstairs. That's Mother's domain. She does cooking, and that's what she does. So I don't pay the gas. I do buy the water. Like when there's 2 lots of water we buy. I haven't actually showed you the second one. The first one is you buy, like in that in that shorts we did. You're buying a dozen bottles of water. This size, whatever they are. They're 600 mil. No, they're 600 mil. Looks like, well, it could be 500 mil. Can you ever work out how big they are? Oh no, it's 550 mil of water. You buy 12 of those for 45 baht. Stuff Nestle and they're freaking rip off. But yeah, so that's the expensive water. Alternatively, we have these 20-litre bottles, which we just take to the corner store, which is 100 yards down the road here. We put them in the back of the car of all places and drive 100 yards down the road because 3 of them are a bit heavy to cart around the place. But we just drop the empties in to the corner shop down there, and he gives us full ones, and they're 15 baht each. So 20 litres of what do they call it? I suppose reverse osmosis, filtered water for 20 litres for 15 baht.
I think we pay 100. I think we pay $1 here for a 5-gallon bottle. That'd be about 20 liters.
Is it? So how much?
That's the machine, but you got to take it down and put it in the machine and fill it yourself.
Oh, okay. You got to fill it in the machine yourself. Yeah, no, but these are already filled, so there you go. So that's the labour's already taken care of.
You pay equivalent of 30 baht. You're paying less for yours, and they're doing it for you. Damn. Yeah.
So again, this is what the last video. This is what we've been talking about pretty much all last week on Discord. Okay, I missed that one. What did he say? kick a family
Pay
out.
attention.
That's right. I don't know. Bangkok life. Look, what I choose to do in my life here is none of your business, mister. Seriously. I don't know why people seem to think that their comment is going to make any difference whatsoever. I choose to do what I choose to do because I'm that sort of guy. These sort of comments just highlight how much of an arse hat you really are. Oh, seriously. What else we got? Remove the cement shoes. Sorry, I missed that one. How do you stop entertaining from? Okay, fair enough. Chatting amongst yourselves. I mean,
I like.
Go on.
I like the one they did earlier. They wanted to know why Italy was shaped like a boot. It's because you can't fit that much shit in a shoe.
Was it? Sorry, I just missed one here from Dallo. Was there ever thought of running an extension cord to your neighbour's external power plant? I'm sure that does happen here in Thailand.
That's what the welders did when they were building your carport.
Oh, no, they just tapped onto the main.
I just think that what they did is they, like to avoid throwing the what do you call it, the RCBM breakers. We've got not only do we have the earth leakage detection on the circuit, we've also got the overpowered. It's basically that twofold power protection system. And if you put welders on that, you'll tend to they just tend because basically they just can't cope with that sort of stuff. So they tapped into the pole after the meter, from what I could, the best as I could tell from the distances I was checking it out. You know what I mean? So, but yes. So we got a couple of arseholes on here, have we? Who takes
What a yet.
You cool. Look, if you really want to come and have a discussion about this stuff, Mr. Cruiser, look, I'm not hiding anywhere. You're the people who are hiding. I don't hide. I don't have to protect myself from people like you, honestly. Right? You're quite welcome to come on the Discord anytime you want. Right? What we do have to do by running a YouTube channel, I have to comply with the terms and conditions of YouTube. The oligarchy that runs the whole sort of video ingest feed, right? So this is what I got to do. I got to just comply. But if you really want to come and have a piece of me, come on. I'll give you a fair time to have your piece and your say anytime you want. But you're a bunch of idiots. You really are. What I choose to do in my life and how I choose my life is totally up to me, and it's got nothing to do with you people. Really. You are welcome to join in and have some fun with us, which is what our channel's all about, having some fun. If you are a non-fun person, well, that probably just the sort of comments you make really tells me the fact that you've either bought your friends, right, or you just don't know how to have fun. So it doesn't really worry me one bit, honestly. Well, damn Wazza's got a horse that's high. What's that mean?
All you have to do is give it some of that ganja coffee, and the horse will be high.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yes. Oh yeah, the gun. That's the thing. Something there seems to be one of those. Full moon was like last night.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
No, I'm just saying it's like the effects last for a little while once the full moon hits.
Is that right? So yeah, this
You're talking about the ganja.
This ganja.
That too.
This ganja stuff is it's becoming pervasive. Like I said, this is on the latest video as well. I got to get the translation so you can sort of read this. I can put this through the translator, but not on the picture here. Let me get out of your face again. Where do we go? So I go camera and I go import. Now where is that photo? Here it is here. Right now what? Right. So let me just. I'll just. You've probably never seen how I would do that, but. It's not easy for me to show you. Anyway, so let's just have a look at what that says. And so actually in English it says with organic cannabis leaves, roasted, startled, and I don't know what startled is, startled, and boiled in boiling water for 1 minute. The aroma and the leaves of the cannabis leaves come out beautiful, golden yellow, and can be enjoyed hot or chilled mild. That's what that says. It's becoming a big thing everywhere. All these markets, they're all getting on this. As I said, I think the comment I made was, it just seems like the fact that they can't make any money elsewhere because everything's shut down and all the fun's gone. And as with Chanya's little short, where is Chanya's little short? Oh my God. Let me just play the short for everybody. Where's my channel? There it is. I think was that one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one here. Peter, what are you doing?
Pardon?
What you buy?
You see?
Oh, you want to buy
tea.
some tea, ganja tea.
Yep.
Why you want to drink ganja tea?
I want to smile.
You want to smile? I want to smile. You sure?
I want to smile every time.
Yeah. Yes, they just passed a law here. The fact that they've actually registered 4 strains or cultivars of the non-THC derivative of the cannabis. I don't know exactly why they need to register it. It's a naturally growing plant, but this is the way it seems to be going these days. Anyway, she's got her ganja tea. I don't know if she's going to drink like it or not. We'll give it a try when we go home. You're quite welcome to watch the shorts. We'll get onto that subject shortly. Anyway, but yes, that's the fun and games we have here in Thailand. Ganja tea, ganja coffee. And it's almost become a weekly thing to go up and get the ganja coffee. But I don't think the medicinals really kick in unless, of course, you're doing a daily dose, if you know what I mean. So, Robert Groves is doing this. No, he isn't, because I'm sure Robert Groves has a. Isn't Robert Groves a moderator on our channel? I thought Robert Groves was the moderator on our channel. So. Did you kill your account or something, Robert? Or is this another copycat? I can't easily check. I'll have to check it out later, Rob. Just let me know. Or hit me up. If that is you, just hit me up on Facebook just to confirm that that's you, and I'll fix it up right now. Who is moderating? Not if who's he moderating? Like, no, the Spanish status are basically verified accounts. It's because like what we had, when we first started live streaming back in the Talkback Thailand days, yeah. You're using somebody else's device at the moment or whatever. Okay, whatever. I'll leave it like that. So there you go. So when we started doing live streams back in the Talkback Thailand, I know that's probably 3 years ago. Was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yeah, we had a lot of copycats coming on. So we found the best way to do that is to go through the verification process and give people spanners, right, that we, people that we trust and know to be, the regular good guys. Now we didn't, because we haven't been sort of doing that regularly. Because like I should, Mark Van Doom, I should give him a spanner because he's always on. I should give Warren Thierot a sort of spanner, but it's one of those sort of things. I just haven't gone and cleaned it up. I said the spanners are good. These are moderators. They're just trusted accounts. This is how it all works. And that was how we identified people straight away. Like if I go onto Stephen's channel, I've got a spanner there because people tend to copycat me. I had, I think there was a comment came through on the channel, on the comment section on the YouTube the other day from, from Nid? She's the girl in Patty has got the channel. What's the name of the channel now? Anyway, but it was a comment. The comment was a bit off kilter for what I would have thought she would talk about, right? Verified that no, that's not it, just another copycat. So these copycats, they go around to other people's channels, right? Steal your little thumbnail picture and pretend to be you, and then defame other people in the channel. Try to get us a bad name. I've got no issue with any vloggers here in Thailand. I don't have an issue with anybody really, but they seem to create this process of going on and impersonating you just to cause waves in the community, if you know what I mean. But I'm pretty sure now, unless of course you're a new channel doing Thailand content, we've all learnt to determine who's who on there, and I will only go on and make comments on other people's channels that I have a personal relationship with, like we've talked to, we've had beers with, and all that sort of stuff. I tend to stay clear of the other channels and comments simply because of the fact that, if they see, I told them, if they see me commenting on their channel, and if I'm not a moderator, then how do you know it's me? And you don't get the time to go and investigate anymore, and you're running a channel, so it's better for me just to step aside and not go and comment on your channel. They're good with that. I'm good with that. And again, most of the guys vlogging out there do the same. But yeah, now they've started to impersonate other people, so you've got to be careful about it. You can never really tell who's there. It's just this anonymous world of YouTube. The only people that really aren't anonymous are the people who are running the channels. And of course, people like Andy Stubbs, who we know who's who, and Dowler, and Mr. Mitch, and Todd. You get the idea. Anyway, I am everything but verified. It's certified. I still don't know. I'm pretty sure I still don't know LMA's proper first name. So he needs to sort of come clean with that at some stage and contact me on Discord or Facebook. So I'd rather call him by his full name or first name, just as a friendly thing, I don't think he should pry that level, but he's always here. He's a Patreon member, so he's one of the good guys. Will 86, he's just joined us. G'day, Will. What else have we got to talk about? Yeah, so we moving along, Moonlight Myths and Memories. Hello, greetings from Las Vegas. I really enjoyed your cost of living. I was actually just going to get onto that subject, 40 minutes into the program. Enjoyed the cost of living video. I never worry about my money here in Las Vegas. The casinos have been taking good care of it for over 25 years. But that's a really good point. I'm here in Thailand for a couple of reasons, most of the reasons, but one of the reasons is the fact that after the divorce in 2008, the only time I really had fun or enjoyed myself was my trips to Thailand. The rest of my life, when I was in Australia, I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I was on the bus at 7:30 in the morning, I was at work at 8:30 in the morning. Right, I left work about 5:30 in the evening. I got home about 6:30 in the evening. I'd make myself some food. 7 o'clock in the evening came around, and then I'm playing games. And I'm playing games till 11 o'clock, and it was rinse and repeat at least 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, and sort of probably once a month, probably 7 days a week. That was my life. I didn't go out. I can't say I didn't go out. Probably once a month there was an event on in the city. Sort of one of the clubs I used to go to was the Hellfire Club. It was a BDSM sort of themed club, publicly available. Anybody could come in. You were screened at the door as long, good guy, bad guy. Are you dressed up accordingly in that black stuff? Get the idea. But I probably go there once a month, and that was sort of let my hair down, once a month sort of exercise if I wasn't in Thailand. So that was probably do that 8 times a year, because the rest of the time other times I'm coming to Thailand to spend my time. So that was my life. I didn't go out. Right? I didn't have a social life. And I was just freaking stacking money in the bank. You know, people don't realise what it takes to actually retire early. I should have done it earlier, but I said, you know, while I was married, now look, bless her heart, you know, Angie, I'm still very good friends with Angie, you know, but honestly, I only had one goal in life when we were married. I just wanted to make more money than she spent. You know, that was my goal in life. You know, and people sort of hit me up about, you know, oh, look at you and Chanya now and the money you spent. Like, seriously, I did that for 20 years with a frickin' Australian, you know. It's not like it only happens in Thailand, guys. It happens everywhere. I just had one goal in life when we were married, just to make more money than my wife spent. Because I didn't spend money. I'm quite happy to play computers all day, all night and everything else. Stuart, I sent a couple of questions on live. Yeah, sorry about that, Stuart. Do you know any information on the vaccine rollout in Thailand at this point? Can you get solar? Okay, vaccine. There is a website to register. I sent them an email to find out where I can go to in Nakhon Pathom province. That was 3 weeks ago. No reply. So that's how efficient the vaccine rollout is from my perspective. And quite frankly, I've asked Chanya about what she wants to do. Her answer is, while they're dishing out the Sinovac, she doesn't want it. Right, that's it. So that's the end of story. When they can sort of confirm that we can get a different vaccine here, you know, and rock up and do it, you know, pretty much efficiently, well, 3 of us at once, then we'll go and sort it out. But you know, we've had a low number of cases here in Nakhon Pathom, and we're not really going to Bangkok. So you know, we're in the light red zone, they call it, but pretty much, you know, it's a non-starter out here. There was a factory down the road that had an outbreak, or a what they call it, a thing which was shut down and fumigated. We're up near Wat Don Wai last Thursday, and there was one of those fumigation trucks doing this, you know, rocking down the street. Coming home Thursday, the little market up the end of the road has been shut down because there was a few cases there, which is a market we would buy our fresh food from. That's why we're at Wat Don Wai instead of the one local. Because there was get the idea. So this is what happens. It's just all about how it is. Anyway, so the other side, can you get solar on the house? Or Thailand has no. We've been talking with Sonny because he's down in Phuket. Sonny has a really big problem with power down in Phuket. I don't think he minds me talking about the power issues in Phuket. But Phuket is, if you ever thought about living in Phuket, here's the bad side of Phuket, right? The power is unstable. He will have probably blackouts 3 times a week. Right, where they're just blackouts or brownouts. He lost 3 TVs the week before last. And I'm talking, these are big 70, 80-inch TVs. These aren't cheap TVs. You know, they are full, flat screen, wide, big TV things. They weren't on UPSs, you know, but now he's had 1 repaired under warranty, 2 he had to rebuy because they were out of warranty. He lost 3 TVs because of a brownout, and this is one of the things. The power down in Phuket is completely unstable. So now he is seriously looking at solar and taking himself not so much off the grid, but basically keeping a good 8 to 10 hours battery power on the house from a solar feed to charge those batteries, topped up at night when the power's good, and basically running what they call dual sine wave inversion within the house, right outside the grid, just completely isolating himself from the outside problems. Here we've been here 2 months. We haven't had any of the fluctuations we used to get in non-chem, but in non-chem we'd probably get a brownout for a momentary brownout for 3 to 4 seconds, probably once every 2 to 3 days, but the grid was fairly good there. My UPS here would go off, but my UPS will do probably 15 minutes and it starts beeping if the power goes out. So we're good, but solar, it is available, but I haven't done too much investigation on what really works over here. I've done a lot of study in solar. I actually gave some some, my 2 cents worth when Sonny built his food truck. Basically, the design of the food truck is, basically what I sort of, inferred would probably work best for that sort of operation, which is a solar-powered truck. And he's been very thankful for that ever since, because it works. His solar-powered truck, he can take that truck out in the morning, and it basically keeps the thing fully powered on solar all day for the whole time he's out there. But that's a little business he runs, which is completely shut down now because there's no tourists to eat from the truck. So there you go. End of the story. But yeah, I will investigate solar here because we've got a fairly good price of solar panels. If I quickly just bring up we'll just quickly do that. I know we get sidetracked all the time here on this channel, but it's a good question. If I go to Lazada, it gives you a good idea of what the pricing is. I'll log in anyway, so just in case I see something, I have to do it when I see it. Squirrel. This is my next project, is to put my 10 terabyte NAS in place. But yeah, I'll be looking at that, probably buying local. Okay, so solar panel. Solar panels. I should probably go for 500 watt, shouldn't I? Let me just try that. 500 watt. Solar panel, 500 watt. Okay, so what do we got? Solar lights, solar panels. Okay, Lazada. Half cell, 495 monocrystal. That's a pretty good spec. What do we got? Let's do a translation. Newer solar panel, Blue Tech Solar, so monocrystal, half cell, 495 watt. So what's that? 4. So if I was going to power this, I'd probably separate for what I do here to reduce the price. I'd probably go 6 of those. So that'll be good. Go give me 3,000 watts on the roof. What am I looking for? Converter. So that's
inverter.
No, I'm converting the price. So it's 4 to 90. So what, $177 Australian. I think that's pricing is a little bit better than what I would be with the same things in Australia. But yeah, so to put, I'd need 6 of those, so 6 times 177, 2, 4, 6. So it's $1,200 Australian to put 3 kilowatt on the roof. There'd be fitting charges. You'd probably add an extra 2 to 3,000. Put an extra $1,000 for fitting. Then of course the inverter. I don't know if there's people. Lords and Garnet for Blue Tech. Do they have the inverters here? So all their advertising there. 18 items found on Blue Tech, Lawns and Garden. They've got the panels. They don't seem to be either. So what's that? The solar cell. They don't have the inverter that I can see. I'd have to look at the solar inverter. Well, a solar inverter. 3 kilowatt. What do you look at? 13,000 baht, which is about what I'd expect to pay. So it's 13790. So that's another $570 Australian for the inverter. But that's what it would cost to put solar on the roof. And yeah, look, it's something I would seriously consider, but I'd probably wait till next year. Like the power's not a big issue in my case. As we're talking about the cost of living, so 2,000 baht a month for what, that's for 3 people in a house this size. I think we're doing pretty well. It emphasises the fact that the cost of living for the essential, having a good life, not like a high roller life, but having a good life, market bought food, occasionally I think once a week we go at the restaurant, probably once a week I'll order pizza or maybe twice a week I'll order pizza or KFC, some Western style food. That's actually more expensive than the Thai food. My internet costs 750 baht a month. When you start to stack up all these sort of things, roof over your head. Okay, so we've got a mortgage here at 24,000 baht a month, but a house is like the 3-bedroom house we were out renting back in Phnom Penh. That was only 9,000 baht a month, and that's expensive, in Thai terms. If I was just like we were talking about, using Augie as an example. Oh, I just noticed Sean dropped in. Go, Sean. Augie was the example here. Now, Augie, you don't mind me sort of saying, do you, Augie? Lives in a trailer park. Would you call it a trailer park?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
A retirement park.
A retirement park. He lives in 45 square metres. I think we worked out 45 square metres, wasn't it?
400 square feet, 10 by 40.
10 for it does my head in trying to convert that. I work in square metres. Yeah, I think it was 45 square metres when we did the calculation. So slightly bigger than like a condo in Bang Hwa. Like that condo that sort of Tim was in Bang Hwa, that was 32 square metres. You couldn't swing a cat in it. It's got a partition in one part there to separate the bedroom from where you would put the lounge chair, and then there was a separate partition for kitchen. Like seriously, I've seen bigger caravans. Well, in comparison, well, it seemed bigger. 45 square metre, like Augie could buy, a 32 to 35 square metre condo. Hello, darling.
Good, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Guess who's joined us?
Okay, that kiss you better.
No, I don't want to guess.
Guess who's joined us? Okay. Come and say hello. People want to see you.
Hey, Chanya.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Sweaty cat. She always gives the
Hello.
best shot.
สวัสดีครับ
Always gives us the best shot of her.
เฮ้ย
Yeah. Cover your breasts.
No.
I love you, darling. You go to work now?
Yes, I got
Good. And they
You
finished
come-
the garden now?
Pardon?
They finished downstairs for the garden?
Come here. 1 minute.
Oh, to talk amongst yourselves for a
When
minute.
I show you here,
She's
not
gotta go.
downstairs, just here.
Okay, wait. Back in a minute.
Going to check on the garden.
Thank God he had his pants on.
Yes. Wasn't it about a month or so ago he didn't have his pants on or something?
I'm not going to say anything.
Everything okay now,
I think this is the grass
How much do you want
going
to pay?
down
How
he
much
was
you
saying
pay?
the other day. Augie?
1, 2,
1,200
I'm not
baht,
sure.
okay.
and come
Yeah, I
here.
think that's the
Bye
last
bye,
bit
everybody.
of the
Have to
grass.
enjoy video. Have to enjoy streaming. Yes, I want to talk English good, but when I talk good, I want to talk with people more.
Well, you need to put the headphone on so you talk to Augie and talk to...
And save yourself, na people, and save yourself
Put the
for
headphone on
COVID.
and talk to Augie, talk
No,
to
I
Sean.
shan't.
You shan't.
And save yourself for COVID, na everybody.
Okay, let me go.
Love you guys.
Take your care.
Come here.
Bye.
Kangaroo next.
They've seen.
That's what you call a photo bomb.
Next 8 kilometers.
There's
I
got.
cannot
I
see.
don't want to know why he's taking the time to talk to us when he has that at home.
Yeah, that's
No, Chanya's off to work, so now he can actually talk to us.
and she's back in again. What are you doing now? Wait,
Bag.
you can take your bag. Yeah, I don't want your bag. Take your bag. Go
You
away.
steal my bag,
No,
or?
no.
All the time
This
you
is-
beat
yeah,
my
this
bag
is my
me.
style. Yes, darling.
All
It's
the
my
time on, you bring my back,
Yeah,
he walk.
my style, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I
God.
think he'd look better with the Coach bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this channel is different to everybody else. Okay, this is a different channel. You know, it's what they call a snapshot of reality. What's that? Is that somebody on the street? Yeah, so you know, there's nothing faked in this channel. This is just this is our life. People just don't get that, I'm sure. But anyway, getting back to
I don't know how big the place was that I rented last when I was there, but it was just a one-bedroom kind of service apartment kind of hotel.
Yeah.
I thought it was plenty of room.
So
It was the Aventis. It was on Soy 41, I think.
But was it a hotel or was it a
Yeah, it was a hotel, but it was like they had a kitchenette and everything in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So it's like
Which was-
it's like an Airbnb.
Yeah,
sort
so
of
it
thing,
had- Yeah, so it had like a full. It was almost like a full apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was plenty of room.
Yeah, but that's it for a single guy, right? And this is the thing. This is where people seem to get a little bit mixed up, right? And everybody has their own idea of what is the perfect lifestyle when they come to Thailand, and a lot of people fall into a big trap of that whole. I just noticed somebody got a super chat there from New Zealand. Ah, thank you very much. Oh, there, you're both there. Thanks very much for that. But yeah, yeah. So, what is a good life? You know, I've lived most of my life on the internet. You know, no holds barred. That's what you do. It's just basically that's my life. I had a bottle of beer last night. The probably first time I've had a bottle of beer in like 2 months. You know,
I had 2 cans of beer for lunch today.
aren't you lucky?
I'm on my 4th acres of Coke.
Seriously, the only thing that was costing me, you know, outside my budget, well, it was still in my budget, but is when I went into Bangkok. You know, so probably twice a month before COVID, I would go into Bangkok twice a month, well, probably 3 or 4 times a month. Initially, when I went to the coffee shop, the coffee meetups, you know, that was pretty much every week. That trip would cost me, you know, at least 1,500 baht, you know, and if I stopped off at Susie's place, you know, it'd cost 3,000 baht. If we stayed even later, you know, and went down the nightclub area, then the night would cost me 6,000 baht, you know. That's just buying drinks. If you take all that out of the equation, clothes on your back, roof over your head, right, and eating pretty much predominantly Thai food, you can have a really, you know, not eventful life, but a happy life. If you're like me and you're a gamer and you live on the internet, it's quite honestly, I don't know what people sort of say. People just got to have their 2 cents worth and really sort of make a point of the fact that this is what it costs, you know, and you know, telling me the fact that you know, it's not doable. Well, what are you spending now a month, you know, in America, which is more expensive? You're spending more than that.
I spend 1 paycheck a month just on a mortgage in
Yeah,
a 2,500 square foot house where I sit on one corner of a couch.
yeah, and Augie, so where you are, you know, when you look at, you know, because you don't even commute to work because you work from home, right? And you're spending more than that 36,000 baht a month, which you're planning anyway, aren't you? Yeah, so you're already spending more than that, right, in America.
I spent about 48,000 baht a month.
Here, yeah. So, and you know, you're sort of seeing Thailand as the option simply because of the fact that your lifestyle is going to be pretty much the same, but you're going to leverage cheaper food, cheaper accommodation, and
Better looking women.
yeah. But I said, you know, they'll be paying their own way. You're not going to be sort of supporting one. That's what happens. Is when you start supporting one, that's when the price goes up. You know,
Then you just have to work harder.
you just got to work harder. So yeah, so you got to get to the people impersonating me. I got to love this. Obviously, we got the famous impersonator on his 20 accounts. I don't know who that is. We got a pretty good idea who it was as to who it still is. It's all right. Love the engagement. It's all positive. It all helps the SEO and helps rank this channel, guys. It's called engagement. YouTube doesn't give a damn what you say, what you do. We don't give a damn what you say. You're not going to rile me up about it. Just have you, whatever. It's just more people coming into the channel, which just promotes the channel, guys. That's it. If you really want to hurt a channel, disappear. That's what hurts a channel, right?
Don't tell them that, Wazza.
They can't win, unfortunately. They simply can't win. It's just the way it is. Anyway, so getting back to the solar price, look, I think it's doable. So solar inverter, like getting somebody to put it on the roof and do it, that's going to cost peanuts compared to what it would in Australia.
The US.
Yeah, or the US. So, it's something that I am seriously considering, but it's something I'm not prepared to do now because I don't have enough Thai language skill to talk to technicals with the people that will come and do the job. Like I had to pick up a few little issues when certain things were done around here. I had to get Chanya to translate my opinion about certain little aspects, which then she would do her best about sort of relaying to the people doing the building, and they got fixed. Now, that's just normal building stuff, which is fairly easy language. To talk something like technicals, like I said, I'm a, God, you know my background. That's a technical discussion, and to get it done right, I want to run the project. That's going to be difficult without the language. So I now need, before I do this, I'm going to have to get to a point where I actually have a better command of the language, so the fact that I know I get my thoughts brought across, make sure that the rigging for the panels is done properly, make sure that the solar facing is good, right? The angling is good, all that sort of stuff. Make sure the fact that they're put in series, not in parallel, the whole thing. Making sure they're using the right gauge, copper wire, because you're talking pulling some fairly serious ampage through some copper wire. You've got to have short run. You've got to put your inverters up. Short. The whole thing. There's so much to be done and done properly, which I have at the moment a lack of confidence. The fact that the engineering skills here in Thailand are up to par. And I don't know of anybody who's doing it. I've seen a few houses using solar hot water, but I actually haven't seen anybody really at any sort of home level doing solar grid, which tells me the fact that there's not many people out there that are skilled enough to do the right job, if you know what I mean. So there's a lot to it. So anyway, moving right along. So let's hope they subscribe before comment. Yeah, subscriber numbers mean nothing. It's actually sort of what ranks channels is engagement. So anyway, Niall, g'day Niall, how you doing? Good to see you dropping in. Cody gets out of quarantine next Saturday. It might be an opportunity for us all to actually do a little trip, and because I know a couple of his suitcases he's going to keep stored here, so we may be coming for a trip in. We might have a couple of drinks. So I don't know if we can we get drinks in Bangkok? I don't know. Or do we have to stand outside of 7-Eleven? I don't know. Anyway, but we might get a chance to meet up, so we'll let you know.
We're gonna be like a couple of old men on the street corner in Chicago drinking a Ripple from a brown paper bag.
But isn't this the comedy about it? They won't let the bars open because there's alcohol involved, but you can definitely go to 7-Eleven, buy yourself a 6-pack or 4-pack or whatever pack, and drink it out the front of the 7-Eleven. Honestly, what's the difference? Crazy shit.
Yeah, but you're social distancing while you're drinking it outside the 7-Eleven because the bar is all the way across the street.
Malcolm K. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I don't know. They don't realize. They've never studied this sort of stuff. They really haven't. That would be courtesy. The fake Wazza, mate. Change the name to Wanker. Exactly, Malcolm. It's all
For
good.
schmeckle.
Absolutely. Look, I don't ban people from my channel. Like you get timeouts here. The only people that have been banned on the channel is the obvious account and person that is coming onto my channel as me. Really? Or as my sister, as my brother, as my late mother, as my late father, as my daughter, or as Stephen Clark, or his various nom de plumes.
I'll know I have made it when somebody imitates me.
Yeah. But everybody is free. Like, look, I'm a big supporter of free speech. It doesn't worry me the slightest. When it gets to be swear words, just try and put the word "fuck" in there. It just doesn't let you put it through. That's it. It's a banned word. Because I've got it.
Lauren, do they have Boone's Farm?
What was that? Boone's Farm.
Warren Theory wants to know if they have Boone's Farm in Thailand.
Yeah.
That's a cheap fortified wine that they would sell in mini marts and it was very popular amongst teenagers.
Oh, right,
it's
okay.
flavored.
It's flavoured, okay. Well, you can go to places like Sukhothai, and I've talked about many times. You can buy the LineID, the rice whiskey, and you don't buy that in the bottle. You buy that in plastic bags. It's come straight from the still into a clear plastic bag, which you then take home and put into your own plastic bottle.
Can I bring some mason jars from the south to pour that into?
if you really want.
So that I'm just like having my good old corn whiskey.
Have you ever tried the LineID? I don't. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You've never actually been
there.
You've actually been here. That's right. You've never actually been here. Yeah.
I've had sake.
Well, it's
the
that.
rice wine and the rice whiskey from Japan.
There are a couple of commercial versions of the LineID in the Big C.
So is that worse than soju?
Just like this stuff here.
Soju and sake are yummy. Both the same.
Oh.
LineID. That's paint stripper.
It's horrendous.
There are a couple of versions of the LineID. Well, a commercial version that you can buy in not so much 7-Eleven, but in the Big C. Chanya has pointed it out to me on the shelves, but I've never bought one because I've had a few experiences on the Sukhothai version, and really, really lovely stuff to drink. Like it is a sweet, and it hits you like the best example I'd use, the best meme I would use. Drinking LineID is like having your brain smashed out with a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick. That's strictly.
Well, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I was going to say, isn't that like Pan-Galactic?
Let's just see.
Yes.
Except for the colour, it is a Pan-Galactic. It is the perfect idea of a Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. I think if you mix that down with a bit of iced tea, you get the colour of Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster, and it would have the same effect. Yeah.
So I think we should bottle it and market it as Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
There we go.
And we would make a fortune with the geeks.
As long as you put on the back, "Don't panic," you'll be fine.
Exactly.
I've got the.
Don't panic and don't forget your towel.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm completely not watching the chat here. What are you guys talking about? Honestly.
Well, they want to know if the LineID coming in the bag is where the saying "half in the bag" comes from.
Half in the bag. I've never heard that saying, honestly.
When you're drunk, you're half in the bag.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm still not familiar with it. Which online games do you play, and what's your background in IT? System software engineering. Okay, I started. I was doing CNC programming from '78. So computer numerical control on PDP-8s, PDP-11s. I learnt Fortran, I learnt COBOL, I learnt QBasic. I was writing code for what they call the line following machines, which did profile cutting. So we had the magic eye profile cutting for the steel factory. I actually wrote the software to do what they call the trace program that the line cutting would do. I did that for 4 years. That's where I started in programming. I moved into the IT field, I suppose, specifically after I finished 4 years there, and moved into PC. Started building my own PCs. By 1984, I had a PC XT, I had a PC AT at home, and I had people bringing their kit around to my house because they couldn't get it to work properly, and I'd fix it for them, and they'd want to pay me, and I said, a case of beer, or a Thai stick or something like that, depending on whatever the going trade was, and they were happy. And then sort of 1988, I met Angie, and one of her friends was working in a real estate agent and had a problem with their attaché software. And they'd had some experts out there for 4 weeks trying to fix the software, and they couldn't get their networking for topology working. Melinda mentioned something to Angie. Angie said, well, Warren's pretty good with computers, maybe he could have a look at it. So I went out there one Saturday morning, had a look at it. It's attaché. I just reconfigured their network for using their high memory sys properly, putting their mouse drivers up in there, putting the net bias drivers, putting the net bias drivers up in high memory, and a few other little TSRs that they were running. Basically cleaned out base memory. That got the attaché program working, and because it required something like 620k base memory to really work properly. Got the first two machines talking to each other, the server and the first workstation. That took 30 minutes. And Melinda said, we've had engineers here for 4 weeks and it's cost us thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get this working, and you come in here and get it working in 30 minutes. Why aren't you running a business like this? And I'm going, I've got no idea how to run a business. I do computers. She says, well, I'm an accountant. I know how to do business. Let's work on this shit and get it working, And so that's where my business started. And I formed the company in '95, and basically I was the break fix guy. I would fix people's systems. I started doing small systems, and by 1996 I had a string of corporate clients where they would just call me up because something didn't work, right? And I would get out there, I would fix it. That's it. That was the fun part, and they'd pay me big bucks. And I did that until I got sick of being a bank for all these corporate frickin' entities that wanted to run 90-day accounts, but yet call you up and say, we need you here yesterday, something's broken. What do you do? I just said, stuff this. I talked to one of my clients, which was a good payer, and I'd put 6 servers into their organisation from 98 when I met them through to 2002. I put 6 servers into their organisation. And they just loved the work I did. I just sort of said to Richard one day when I was out doing some maintenance work, and I said, you know what would be great? The one thing I love about working for myself is the fact that I work for myself. The thing I hate is the fact that I got a mortgage, I got a family, I got this and that, and 1 month, shit could hit the fan, and I am flat out for the whole month. And because I fixed things and nothing really broke, you could go for 2 months with any business coming in the door. It was like a feast and famine, yet you still, the bank still wanted a mortgage paid, still got all the bills to pay. And I just said, it'd be just great to have a couple of days a week for an organisation that's growing like, this organisation. I had to use him as an example. I said, just the bread and butter, And Richard just said, well, with the growth we've got in our company, it's just the sort of person we're looking for. Make me an offer. So I came up and we did some number crunching, made him an offer, and he said, can you start on the 8th of January? I started there 2 days a week on the 8th of January 2002 as their internal IT guru, right, just to make sure everything worked. Then we had Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland, and we had a presence in Brisbane. And my job to start out was to get it all fine-tuned and get the wide area networking all sorted out. Did all that, you know, and within 6 months I was working there 5 days a week. I had to tell all my other customers that I'm shutting down and you'll have to go and talk to my mate over here to take care of your daily needs, because I'm fully occupied with this growing business. And that was 6 months, and then I'd been there for 15 years. That's me. Does that explain everything? I don't know. I kept on going through that one. It's just obviously a short version. I just keep on getting sidetracked with it. But yeah, so that's my forte. Computer games. Check my Steam account. I think there's a link down below for my Steam ID. PopeKael. I can give you the Steam ID. Where are we? Steam. Library. Where are we?
You'd be glad you're not doing CNC programming. That's what I'm doing right now. Looks like my work's going to Mexico.
Yeah.
They used to do, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I started doing CNC programming. This scar here on my arm, you might be able to see the scar there. That's when you put an extra 0 on the Z-axis on a fucking
Oh no!
on a 3/4 inch drill. Yeah, that's right. And you it completely shattered the drill and had the no joke. It was a 3/4 inch, high speed drill, right? I had a shard about that long, twisted itself into my arm as it exploded because the drill was spinning, and just. I walked into the computer office and I said, "David, you better. Do I need to see a doctor?" And then I just pulled in front of him. He almost threw up. I took the piece of drill and I wound it out of my arm. A little bit of blood started. I put my finger over it. I said, do I need to go and do anything? You know, because that was the first time I had a workplace injury. And he said, well, let's put a Band-Aid on it. And that's it. We just got a Band-Aid. It went through a good half inch into the skin, you know. But yeah, always check your Z-axis on CNC machines. But yeah, so you know what I mean, don't you then, Sean?
Oh yeah.
People
crash the stuff at least once a month.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to find my add a friend. Okay.
Mine wasn't as painful, but I did a decimal error on a commercial construction bid. Made an error from instead of it being tens of thousands, it was only thousands.
That's my Steam code if you want to add me on Steam. That solves all the problems. Okay. Yes.
Can you give me a bid on some birthday items?
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm okay. I can't wait for all this. I don't think we're all so over this copper shit now. It's not. We were speaking earlier this week. There's a NASA project starting next week. I can't wait to see how this completely blows up in everybody's face. They're actually going to start simulating from next week. There's a project in America to simulate asteroid impacts, because what they've determined, this COVID crap that we've dealt with for the last 18 months, has showed how ill prepared every country is at working with each other, and how ill prepared their emergency response systems are. So supposedly starting from next week, there's going to be a push in NASA to simulate asteroid impacts, which I'm sure that's going to be picked up by the wrong people and it's going to go completely ballistic on Twitter. But anyway, just watch out for all the memes, and all the fake news.
Just start dropping rocks from the moon.
But anyway, that's my Steam code if you want me. Add me. So there you go. Yeah, DOS exactly. Yeah, DOS memory management was an art. Yeah, what I did is I configured their attaché program to run with, I think, one of the games with, I think, Doom 3D, which is also a memory hog, and to get that networked was a bit of a challenge as well. So all I did was basically configure their work computers to run computer games, which I was doing pretty much on a weekly basis for other people. You know, so I didn't tell Melinda that, right? I just did what I did. And suddenly I'm a hero for their organisation. And it was one of the worst companies that I worked for, really, you know. They were Burns and Burns Real Estate. Never buy a house from Burns and Burns Real Estate. Actually, I think the senior Burns have now retired. Andrew wasn't so bad, but God, they paid well, but they were just such a bunch of. Anyway, you know, sometimes you can't pick your clients, but you know, I ate humble pie every time I was there. They were just very difficult to work with. But NASA has yet to clean up their operation. But yeah, so that was my background, and you know, I'm just a guy. I'm just this guy, you know. And for all those naysayers, I get Stranger Things free with my breakfast cereal. But yeah, that's life. So it looks like we've got a fairly good response. People here are just saying there's a 75% no, is it? They don't want to see the. I don't know, what was the question? Do you want the gaming content randomness? Yes, 25%, so 75% say no. Okay, so it's sort of people are saying they don't want to see the gaming content on here. So okay, well that's sort of pretty much.
You don't have to watch.
No, they don't have to watch, but it's going to be one of those things. I may have to do a few here over the next coming weeks just to see how it plays out, just so I can give people a new channel. I do have another channel, it's all right, and I can run it over there. But it just means extra configuration here with Streamlabs. I'm going to have the two different accounts sort of set up, and it gets to be quite a challenge, you know, bouncing between two different profiles. It means work for me. Quem, don't we love Quem? Yeah. No, sorry, I'm not going to go. God, yes. The Australian states can't work together, let alone the world. Tell me about it. Does anyone else miss Donald Trump as president? Hey, Team G. Nice background. All quiet in the Clong. Yeah, that's Clong Lat. Excuse me, Clong Lat Myong. There's a little bridge over the top there. I thought it'd make a good photo. A bit more of the, you know, the true Thailand that, you know, you have to go out of the city to see, if you know what I mean. Trump 2024.
Yeah, Bulldog. I've always believed in the BFH. Bigger fucking hammer. Solves all the problems, one way or the other.
Hello, hey Wayne York. G'day Wayne. Oh crap! I thought gaming meant gambling. We'll change the view. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. Like you know, I don't want to piss people off, but as I said, it just means more work for me to have a separate channel, and things. And when you start changing profiles, because that's why I'm really not doing much Twitch stuff. The reason why I'm not doing much Twitch stuff simply because of the fact that Twitch is a bit of a, you know, the Twitch channel is just a bit of a, it's a non-starter for the best of times anyway. And trying to build a Twitch audience is like, unless of course you've got breasts and want to sort of, you know, have, you know, really low cleavage. I could always get one of those bodysuits, I suppose. But you know,
I got breasts.
Yeah. Unless of course you've got breasts, you'll never make it in Twitch. But yeah, so and again, you got to put dedicated time into Twitch. I watched Seeker, you know, trying to build his channel over the last 12 months, and you know, like, and he's doing regular content, and it's just you know, trying to break into the Twitch arena. Well, seriously, I'm not trying to make money on these sort of platforms. I'm just trying to have some fun, you know. You know, my life, as I said, is not outside social in pubs and clubs and hanging out. My life is all these people I can connect to around the world. It's been my life for 35 years, you know, in the days of FidoNet. You know, if you probably even know, people don't even know what FidoNet is. That was the thing that, you know, that's where we started, you know, IRC, you know, and all that sort of stuff. That's, you know, we were back then a community. And it was only until the advent of pretty much, Windows 3.1, Windows for work groups, and the likes of Aussie Mail in Australia, and the likes, I think, of AOL in America, did they simplify the process of these computers connecting to each other across this framework of interconnectivity called TCP/IP, and did it get shared with the non-tech savvy people, and look at the shit we got now. I keep on going back. I've got to go back to this. I every so often I show this. This came out somewhere in the mid '90s, and I still to this day love it. Welcome to the internet. No one likes you here. That's it. That's the way we felt when the internet became sort of publicly accessible. We didn't want you here. We really didn't want you here because we're going to offend, insult, abuse, and belittle the living hell out of you. And when you rail against us, and we smile to ourselves, we laugh at you because you don't get it. And then we turn up the heat, hoping to draw more entertainment for your irrational fuming. This is our life, This is what we do. This is our life. This is our world. We will judge you and we will find you unworthy. It is trial by fire, and we don't even think about turning down the flames until you finally understand. Some of you are smart enough to realise that when you go online, it's like entering a foreign country, and you know better than to ignorantly fuck with the locals. You take your time to listen and think, and before speaking, you learn, and and by learning are gladly welcomed. For some of you it takes a while, then one day it all dawns on you. You get it. You are welcomed into the fold. Some of you give up, and we breathe a sigh of relief. We don't want you here anyway. And some of you just never get it. The offensively clueless have a special place in our hearts as objects of ridicule. We don't like you, but we love you. You all get mad. You tell us to go to hell and call us nerds and geeks. Don't bother. We know already. We already know exactly what we are. And much like the way hardcore rap has co-opted the word nigger, this shows you how old this is. Turning an insult into itself on itself becomes a semi-serious badge of honour. So we have done. How dare you? You used to beat the crap. I used to beat the crap out of you punks like you at school and college. You may have owned the playing field because you were an athlete. You may have owned the student council because you were popular. You may have owned the hallways and the sidewalks because you were big and intimidating. Welcome to our world. Things like athleticism, popularity, physical prowess mean nothing here. We place no value in them. On them, what car you drive, the size of your bank account, or what you do for a living, or where you went to school. Allow us to introduce you to a concept of mediocrity, meritocracy. I couldn't get that word wrong. Allow us to introduce you to a concept of meritocracy, the closest thing to a form of self-government we have. In the United Meritocratic States, the nation states of the internet, those who can do rule. Those who wish to rule learn. Everyone else watches from the stands. You may possess everything in the offline world. We don't care. You come to the internet penniless, lacking the only thing of real value here, knowledge. Who cares? The internet isn't real anyway. This attitude is universally unacceptable. The internet is real. Real people live behind those handles and screen names. Real machines allow it to exist. It is real enough to change government policy, real enough to feed the world's hungry, and even for some of us, real enough to actually earn a paycheck. Using your own definition, how real is your job, your stock portfolio, your political party? What is the meaning of real anyway? Do I sound arrogant? Sure to you, because you probably don't get it yet. If you insist on staying, then at your very least, follow this advice. No one, especially you, will make any law respecting the establishment of a religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press, or the right for people to peaceably assemble to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Right. Number 2, use your brain before putting fingers to keys. And do you want a picture of you getting anally raped by Bill Clinton while performing oral sex on a cow saved to hundreds of thousands of people's hard drives? No, then don't put your fucking picture on the internet. We can, we will, and probably already have altered it in awful ways. Expect it to show up on an equally offensive website. Now realise that you are never ever going to get that or any other offensive website taken down. Those of us who run those sites live to piss off people like you. Those of us who don't run those sites sometimes visit them just to read the hate mail from fools like you. Oh, and you saying you're going to a lawyer, be prepared for us to giggle with girlish delight and your lawyer to laugh in your face after he explains current copyright and parody law. The web is not the internet. Stop referring it to that. We already have received the email you're about to forward to us. Shut up. Don't reply to spam. You are not going to get unsubscribed. Don't ever use the term cyberspace. Only William Gibson gets to say that, and even he hasn't really used it for 2 or 3 books now. Likewise, you prove yourself a marketing hype victim when you use the term surfing. 10. With 1 or 2 notable exceptions, chat rooms will not get you laid. 11. It's a hoax, not a virus warning. 12. The internet is made up of thousands of computers, all connected but owned by different people. Learn how to use your computer before attempting to connect to somebody else's. Number 13. People are... The first person who offers you help is really trying to fuck with you for entertainment. So is the second, and the third, and me. Number 14. The insult. Never insult someone who's been active in a group longer than you have. You may as well paint a target on your back. 15. Never get comfortable and arrogant behind your sponsored supposed mask of anonymity. Don't be surprised when your name, address, your home phone number get thrown back into your smug face. Hell, some of us who even snail mail you a printed satellite photo of your house to drive the point home. Realise that you are powerless to this if this happens. It's all public information, and information is our stock and trade. 16. No one thinks you are as cool as you think you are. 17. You aren't going to win any argument you start. If you are on AOL, don't worry about anything I've said here. You're a fucking laughing stock and there's no hope for you. Number 19. If you can't take a joke, immediately sell your computer to someone who can right now. Pissed off? It's the truth, not these words that hurt your feelings. Don't even pretend like you've gone and hurt them. I've gone and hurt them. We don't like you. We don't want you here. We never will. Save us the trouble and go away. I just love that bit, and it's still accurate. Like 95, it's still accurate 30 years later, right? The people just get no idea what the internet is. As far as they're concerned, it's a cup of coffee. But I still love that bit. It's really good. Anyway, going back to the chat. God, 11:30 already. Solar power. We haven't even covered news articles. What is the Japan trade? Parliament adopts only one charter of the bill on a returning to ballot system. I think we're only 7 days away from the Phuket opening, right? And it's still not ready. I think there's probably betting houses out there now putting money down. It's probably about 3 to 1 against the fact that they will actually open on time. I have no idea what the betting's going like, but yeah. RUXB, g'day Don, how you doing? Been a while since I've seen you on here. all this oldie time computer science nerd stuff is pretty fun. The early internet was really small in those days. And before TCP/IP, it was that interconnectivity of FidoNet and things like that made it all work. That was the days of when men were real men, women were real women, and small furry things from Alpha Centauri were real small furry things from Alpha Centauri. The good old days. Whatever it is, Richard Barrow. Announcement for Phuket Sandbox. So if you did COE for entering Thailand, you've now got to go and scrub that and go into a special thing for the COA specifically for Phuket Sandbox travellers. That's the latest we've got on the news, yeah. The numbers are climbing here in Bangkok. They're threatening a lockdown, but then of course the Prime Minister doesn't want to lose face any more than he's already lost, because he's lost a lot of face in the last few months. But yeah, same-o. In regards to the media report on the President mentioned before, travelling to Phuket and wishing to stay with Thai nationals, they must be legally married and cannot be boyfriend, girl, partner, or otherwise. This will be like. We would like to clarify the above statement is misinterpreted, is during an interview. Yeah, so again, the double speak. Right. There's no point even doing news these days here in Thailand because it's all double speak now. I'd rather look at my photos. Yeah. What else we got?
About patio go-go bars?
Oh yeah, well, we'll get to that. So what was Sunday? So Chanya at the Chanya and her camera at the salon. Yeah, it looks really busy there, but that was only a snapshot of no customers. I just realised I need to set her camera up. She's got the thing and it's in reverse. I got to go set up her camera. Yeah, we put the sign on the so we had that printed out. It looks pretty sexy, doesn't it? Gold plate, plastic perspex, gold plated. Yeah, so Chanya and Warren. That's our house. That was a part of the video clip from the thing. I put the shelving up. That happened. That's all been cleaned up. We had somebody come in. That was what we were talking about before. 1,200 baht to get a couple of the workers here. They come in and spent 3 days just clearing all that crap dirt out from that they dug up, and that's now all flat again. We've got the turf coming in next week, and I still haven't got a price on that. I don't know how much they're going to charge. But yeah, 1,200 baht to get them to clean and move all that shit. Saved my back. I'd pay for 1,200 baht in a moment's notice to have that and save my back. But anyway, that's a different. I don't know what she's doing there. What's that? She's obviously showing somebody something anyway. She put a wig on. I don't know what she was doing there. She's probably just bored. Oh, did she take a photo of me? I'm wondering about that. Yeah, with my six-pack shirt on and my sarong. Yeah, picture out my window. Picture from the balcony. The balcony, yes. Well, not much to do, is there? That's the picture looking out to the back with the rice fields in the back and the dying coconut trees. I did some work around the back. There you go. That was the start of the fixing up the back corridor around the house. The live-in cat. Oh, we're at a temple. Which is more candid shots of me doing something at the temple. Putting gold leaf on statues. The plants and we talked about the cannabis tree. Oh, this is what we ate for the deep fried snapper. That was I love deep fried snapper. I think it's Tod Man. You ever had Tod Man? This is something that might be an acquired taste for some people. They do not look appetizing, but you'll get it everywhere you go in Thailand. It's just basically fish cakes done Thai style. They are absolutely scrumptious, but they're quite spicy. So if you don't like spicy food, you might find a little bit too much. But they don't look pretty, but they are. That was the what was it? That was the crab dish that she also ordered. Yeah, it's three meals plus rice plus 3 cans of Pepsi. 740 baht, wasn't it? Can't beat the food, and that's eating out. 740 baht eating out. It's not eating at home. You can do that for half the price at home. Lovely little area. There's a lovely little area up here. And if you ever get a chance to do what done why, you got to go up there and check it out.
Well, even the food courts in the malls and Central Business District are. I was getting breakfast for $3.
Oh yeah, it's 45. You go and you get a little 100 baht card. You put the 100 baht in the card because they don't want the staff stealing the money. Putting it in their pocket. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah.
But your 100 baht card, and you'll get food and a drink, and then you'll go back and you'll get change. You've got to love it. That's a food court.
Oh yeah, the food courts are the best.
She's
Does the card have to be used the same day, or could you store your card up?
no. From what I understand,
No, you can store it.
Yeah, that's,
I kept it for weeks.
yeah. I think somebody said recently, we were talking about that. He had a food court card from one food court that he'd had in his wallet for a year, and when he came back here the second trip, he was able to reuse it. So. But again, the cards are specific to the store. It's not like a credit card. Where
right. It's per food court.
It's for that food court.
If you're going to go to that food court often, why not just put 1,000 baht on it?
Yeah, well, you could. Yeah, that's from what I understand. That's what you can do.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally, we just go and put 100 baht in, get our food, or 200 baht because there's two of us. Get our food and then walk back and get the change. Put the change back in our pocket. Because when you do what we do, there's that many food courts you go to, and your wallet fills up with food court cards. You might as well just trade them in or give them back when you finish. Yeah, so she bought this little gadget for her little, her perfumes. Looks pretty.
Shelf.
Yeah. I love the way that
Not a gadget,
the
a
mirror,
shelf.
the mirrors, the little shelving there, but the mirror inside mirror, going backwards and forwards, creates a lot of depth in that room, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, we haven't been doing much in the last week. It's just Wednesday. We just don't do anything much because it's wet season. Everything's locked down, and again, I think sort of Sunny has said what we need to be doing. We need to be going through our old catalogues and redoing topics. But how many times do you need somebody to the etiquette of eating Thai food, or whatever people, I don't know, what are people making videos about these days? How the visa shit works, and how it's just the same everywhere you go. Sometimes you think about the futility of running a vlogging channel for information, which, as I said, even the government can't get it right from one day to the next. How can you run a vlogging channel of any context, right? Of information dissemination without it screwing up on your face? But yeah, that's the way it goes. This is what Thailand vlogging is about. That's why our channel tends to be just our life, But with her back at work and not much else going on, and not me can't get in. Well, I can get into, but I prefer not to go into Bangkok, not until at least I get a vaccine. I'm pretty much locked into this area, and that's just basically going and getting food from the. So was that?
I saw some Facebook friends were getting the AstraZeneca now over there in Bangkok.
Yeah, but again, there's nowhere for me to really go to talk to anybody. Basically, that's Bangkok. That's where the foreigners are. I'm in in Nakhon Pathom now. This is a different province. Foreigners don't go here. This is Thai. And even the Thai, Chanya doesn't want the Chinese vaccine. She wants the Sinovac, the AstraZeneca or anything else, anything that's not the Thai one, if you know what I mean. The Chinese one, I should say. Okay, Pattaya Go-Go bars. What do we got? What's the pretty?
Was it the the Khamenei in Iran, he got the first dose of the Iranian vaccine.
Did he?
So, maybe that'd be the way to go.
I don't know. So there's a few of them been approved now for emergency use. The trouble is, there's nothing happening at getting the stuff to land here. The trouble is, it's all talk. It's all about vaccines. But look, you need to get it in the country, and you need to get it out to the people. Right? Where's the blockage here? From what I can understand, is actually getting the stuff into the country. Well, is that just the fact that you haven't paid for it yet, or something? I don't know. I give up with the whole bullshit. It's ridiculous. Still got 6 weeks until they get the second jab. Okay, so you've had one jab already, Dal. That's all right, yeah.
That's just strange to me. I got my second jab at 2 weeks after my first. I got the Pfizer.
Well, I've had both AstraZeneca, and it had to be 12 weeks apart, is what they're saying here. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're now saying 8 weeks apart here in Thailand. That's the latest thing that's come through this week as well. They've changed that mandate to be 8 weeks apart. And still, when you start to look at the numbers, all this first dose, rolled out, and I think we've barely got sort of 7 million people have first dose. Wayne York hasn't seen a barbecue. Yeah, well, when we get the grass down, we'll think about the barbecue. We're pretty girls now. Got to close out.
Squirrel.
It's got a squirrel. We've got 15 minutes to go. We've got enough time to go look at the patio go-go bar girls, just for keeping the guys happy here. After spending 5 hours on the phone with Orbits, yes, it was one of the most grueling phone problems. What was that?
Have to get his money back from his cancelled flight, I bet.
Oh, really? Okay. I think that's something people are going to be sort of trapped with. Sorry if I've mixed a lot of the conversation today. I've just been sort of, preoccupied with other stuff. But yeah, this is what we're doing now. This is what we do on Discord all the time. There's no schedule. Come in, join in the conversation. We can chat. Of course, these guys here are letting me talk because it's my chat. But I'd rather than have them talk all day, rather than me. I'd prefer to play games and look at pretty girls in the patio go-go bar. She's got a nice smile. I like that one.
Well, they forced me back into the office yesterday, so.
Did they?
And in a week, our county or whatever in the state is supposed to open up 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just when I either get a reply from my email I sent, or I get some sort of clear definition of what we can do here in Nakhon Pathom, and that's more than likely going to come from Chanya and nobody else. She'll just say she'll probably come up and she'll say, today we're going to go to the hospital and get a jab. That's more than likely. I'll get no warning whatsoever. So, that's the way. That's the way it's going to pan out. Because, every time that she makes plans, I'm always the last person to know anyway. Not that it worries me. It's just the way life is.
I don't know anything about that.
I only plan what I do. I only plan my gaming day, my gaming high life. Right now, I'm playing. We're playing. What do you call it? Conan Exiles, because that's the game we're playing. We'll probably play that for another couple of months. Then we may go back and play a different game. I think all the bug testing for Elite Dangerous has been done on the last public rollout. A few of our friends on Steam have got that game, so it's all cool. And we may get a crew, or may get a flight, maybe get a wing and do some Elite Dangerous for a few months, and then we'll go to another game. We may play Ark again. Valheim may release their next update by the end of the year, and then we'll go and play that. But this is all we do. This is life. People might think it's weird, but to us, it's just life. We're happy. We're just guys talking. We don't need to see each other. Sometimes when Sonny comes on, he likes to use the camera. He's still not used to the whole thing, the fact that we've been doing camera video conferencing since the late 80s, early 90s, and we're quite over it. We don't need to see anybody's face when we do video conferencing. That's how it works. They say that they said third shot 8 to 12. Look, I'm sure, Angry Buddha, I'm sure that that's going to be the case. I'm pretty sure it's going to fall into the same bucket as influenza, right? You're going to have to, after 2 to 3 years of it, you're going to have to question the fact that is it done to keep the population safe, or done simply to line the pockets of the multinational pharmaceutical industry, who are, right, for the last 2 to 3 years been losing money, right, to the cannabis industry. That's clearly evident when you start to look at the numbers, right, because people are finding that the natural remedies for, pains and things like that can be relieved.
Well, that and the governments are clamping down on the opioids.
Yeah, that's it.
Have the
opioid.
One company here that got tagged for pushing their opioids, and now they're under extreme investigation.
Well, that's it. Well,
not to mention the pharmacies that allowed them.
Well, it's always worked because knowing opioids, right? So you have heroin, which is Schedule 1, Schedule 9. I don't know what schedule it is, depending on what country you're talking about. It's an opioid. It's one of the first real known opioids. But yet the pharmaceutical industries can make the stuff. How does one opioid become illegal, yet then pharmaceutical industries can produce other ones? What's the most common one? The
Oxycodone.
Oxycodone. Right. It's actually worse for you than the natural opioids, right? But they're allowed to sell it. People are just got to wake the hell up to what's going on out there. It's all about the money. Right? And until people realise it's about the money, the world will never get better.
Everything's about power and money.
Power and money, yeah. And money is just a tradable form of the energy system that the world runs on. So,
Warren, ex nihilo. Oh, that's hilarious.
What's that? Warren Stewart reminds me of an old synth joke. How many knobs are there on a mini mog?
On a mini mog. Rick Wakeman.
Just one. Rick Wakeman.
Look, I like Rick Wakeman. Rick Wakeman music. I like Journey to the Center of the Earth. That was one of. We used to sit down.
Funny.
We'd smoke some black hashish, in a friend's place and get completely wasted, and then put on Rick Wakeman Journey to the Center of the Earth, and it was a great hour to spend. It's you guys have got no idea. I'm probably sure you do actually. You just won't admit it. I'd freely admit it. God.
I liked what was the guy's name? He did the magnetic and
Jean-Michel Jarre.
Yes.
Jean-Michel Jarre, yeah. We had a similar guy in Australia. He did a similar setup to Jarre, and I bought quite a few of his albums back in the day. I unfortunately, because of the fact that that was one of the artists I could I never managed to get digitized in my collection, but I may have it on one of my. I may have got some of the stuff digitized, but. Because of the he basically had his CDs. Every time he played at Hornsby, Mall, I'd always buy a new CD. But he did more of an Australian and added more dig to it. I love that synth music, but when you add dig to that synthetic, oh mate, it just rocks my boat. It really does.
What was his name?
I really, it's been so long, I can't think of his name. It was sort of one of those,
Well, if you're talking about synth players, you've got to put Richard Wright from Pink Floyd up there.
That's some music no one. music. I want artists.
Andrew Morrow?
No, it's in the top. We're talking music of the 80s. Music artists from the 80s, because even his name won't come up, because he was just one of those sort of things. He just played in the malls. He produced his own CDs and everything else. He never really went mainstream, and I really wouldn't even know where to even start looking. But I just loved his music because although he'd play six or seven keyboards at once, all synced up and play the thing, and then then to top it off, he'd add some synth to it, and it really was so good. It really was. I just loved it. Add didge to it, I should say. Gave it really an Australian feel. And if you ever never listened to didgeridoo music, I play didgeridoo, by the way, but I don't have a didgeridoo anymore. If anybody wants to send me a really fucking good didgeridoo from Australia, then I'd be all up for that, because I'd like to get back into
Your
it.
Vegemite's already taken the spare spot I've got.
I've already got Vegemite. I can get Vegemite here in Thailand. I can't get a didgeridoo. I can't get an original, proper tree wood didgeridoo. That like the stuff that you find in even the tourist stores in Australia is all just faked anyway. But getting a proper, I think they call it tree wood.
Yeah, but would they let it through customs there? That's the whole
I
thing.
don't know. That's the thing. But I'd love to get a didgeridoo again and beetroot in a tin. Yes. I'd love to be able to do a decent hamburger. I have to pickle. I keep on saying that. Now that I've got a kitchen, I should do something about the pickling of some beetroot and then show you how to make a proper hamburger with pork, of course, not with beef. PVC didgeridoos just don't cut it. No, it's got to be there is a special wood. There's a special wood that gets the right reverberation, and unfortunately, finding a didgeridoo, everybody will be different. Everybody who plays didgers, I think last didgeridoo I had probably took me about maybe 30 to 40 didgeridoos I went through, before I found one that was just right for my breath style. But yeah, it's one of the things I did. Yeah, so I wasn't a big music artist. I was a didge player. And when we used to jam, I used to play bass guitar as well, but didge was my favourite. Try using a vacuum pipe as a vacuum pipe. Well, yes, I can make the reverberation, but it just doesn't. It doesn't have the timbre, and timbre is made of wood. Doesn't have the timbre. Timbre. I don't know. Is that how you say it? Timbre. I'm just watching the time. We're a brilliant keyboard artist, but can't distinguish to recognise a style like Tony Banks or Keith Emerson. Overly old school, I guess. The hamburger, you mean rissoles? Hamburger, no, a rissole hamburger, same thing. Yeah, a hamburger, a proper Aussie hamburger. That's what I want. Something with beetroot on it. Dang, 40 didgeridoos. Wow, that's serious. No, I only actually had one. It took me 40 before I found the right one. And unfortunately, I was a bit sad when I had to give it away. I don't know who's got it now, but I gave it to somebody. 50 millimeter cordial. That's too big. Orange Underground's the best.
You missed Andy's comment.
What was Andy's comment? What Pink Floyded?
No, just about the 50 millimeter conduit.
I used the vacuum to make my. How did I miss that?
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Look, well, I think we're degenerated. The conversation's degenerating. I think we have to take this off the public channel and go private.
We've hit our 2 hours.
We've hit our 2 hours. Maybe that's another
limit.
No, maybe that's the reason why we should have a separate channel. If I have a separate channel, and then it won't matter if the channel gets banned. we just make a new channel and keep on making new channels. So there's the downside. We can get a little bit more, in your face sort of thing. But again, I'd have to use a different account altogether. I won't add another channel to this account. I'd have to use a whole new the other account system I've got. So the fact that if it got lost, it wouldn't really matter too much, because I know, like doing gaming content, yeah, sometimes the language can get a little bit excessive. Vangelis, that was another one of my favourites back in the day. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll continue chatting here as we always do, and get some gaming content going. But I will. What did the poll end up coming out at? So, did it actually give me 59 votes? Out of 59 people have commented, which is pretty cool. Do you want
3 to 1.
Okay, so it's 3 to 1. But look, still there's a fair few people said they wouldn't mind. But I think I really want to do something different for other time slots. And I really couldn't do this format because the fact that it can interrupt my gaming time. So we'll put it to some serious consideration over the next week or two and see what happens.
Hello. Good taste is knowing how to play a didgeridoo, and choosing not to.
I was actually quite good. I was quite good at it. But anyway, it'd probably take me about 2 to 3 months to get my breath back. I said I got nothing. I suppose I could practice on a bit of PVC pipe somewhere, but unfortunately, you've got to do a whole lot. There's a lot more to it than just breathing down a pipe. But it's one of those things. And thanks, Dallo, as usual. Dallo helping out with the coffee supplements, and see you, Wayne York. Look, if I've missed saying hello to you, I've just been really slack today. You know what it's like. We're here to have a good time, have fun time, and I think that's what people appreciate about this particular program we run on a Saturday morning. Information, leave the news and comments to people like Calsot English and the program that what they call it, the Tiger. They can do all the news and shit. We will just talk amongst ourselves about the crap that's going on with this world, the downfall of human society. Anyway, guys, peace out. Love you, and we'll talk to you next week. And keep an ear on what's going on. Didgeridoos are usually box tree or mallee tree wood. Yeah, I think I'm sure that they called it tree wood. That the Aboriginal elder I was talking to, he just called it tree wood. They just know what wood to make it out of. It's a special tree. But yeah, I think when I've read some wiki articles, box tree is the one that come up in the wiki article. It's got a specific tone. When it vibrates, it has a resonance tone that really sort of makes it work properly. If you don't use the right wood, just the didgeridoo doesn't sound right. Anyway, if anybody ever wants to work out the problem of getting a didgeridoo over to me, it needs to be a good 4 foot long, right? Which is another reason why I didn't bring mine, because of transporting that and everything else across on a plane wouldn't have been really good. But yeah, I just haven't found anybody that's doing anything like that over here. So it's just been one of those sort of things for the last 5 years I've thought about. But it really is good for lung capacity, general health and well-being, and yeah, I just miss my dig. That's all. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm just rambling. We'll stick
Quit rambling and get to the surge.
Yeah, get to the purge. Get to the purge. Closing screen. Bye for now. See you later. Peace out. And talk to you later.
I want you to